Hi Bianca, pleasure to meet you. Obviously, you've been with Cupra now for a long while. How have you enjoyed being a part of this team? And obviously, it seems like the bond that you have with everyone here is quite strong.
It is very strong. I think the team and I align values really well in a lot of aspects, not just the racing bit, but I think also the family environment. For them, family is very important. The teams, the engineers, the mechanics, they all, work in unison, work hand in hand, because, they're a team that's really come from ground up. 3 years ago, they were absolutely nowhere, to be honest, and they've really built the team from ground up. And Dan Ticktum obviously getting his first ever race win, the team's race win for a very long time last year. It's incredible, and obviously witnessing that for the first time is also very special place in my heart. It has a very special place in my heart. I think, that speaks volume with how much the team works.
And obviously, how important is this women's test just for you personally? Because I know you've done a couple now, but how important is it that you get these opportunities?
It's important now, but even more so for the future. It encourages other championships to shed light to, this very important cause that Formula E is advocating for. We advocate for women's sport, but Formula E is actually making a stamp by allowing us to have these opportunities, like driving the actual race car that the men drivers will be racing in the next few months, and to be testing the same circuits in the same car, working with the same engineers and the same race team. It is such a pivotal, opportunity for a lot of the young girls, like myself as a development driver. Being 20, I get to learn from the best of the best, essentially. So to have that opportunity is, honestly, it's priceless.
Yeah, and we were talking about progression, because obviously there's been a couple of these now, like 3, I believe. So we're thinking about next step. Would you like to see, we were talking to Jeff Dodds actually, and we were talking about support series and using these Gen 3 Evo cars as potentially there's opportunities for, rookie drivers and female drivers to race alongside each other in a championship potentially. So would you like to see something like that to move this forward, so you have an opportunity to maybe show your worth and fight for race seats rather than just a women's test every year and you just do a couple of laps?
100%. I think that is the end goal for many of the teams here in Formula E. Like myself, being a development and reserve driver for Formula E, I was with the team 3 races last year, and I was shadowing them, learning from them and looking at data, and I'm normally at the sim, putting in hours and laps and driving the car to really familiarize myself, because the goal is to one day be racing these cars, and that's why we're here. And I think that's a very important message to put out there. It's not just a test because we need to have a test. It's a test because we want a woman in the championship to be racing, to be competing, because I think they can be very competitive if you give them the right help and you give them the right opportunities, like moments like this, and moments like in the rookie test in Berlin, where there were 5 or 6 women drivers alongside male drivers, and putting girls in a mixed grid like that is so important, because we can learn from the best.
And you said, obviously, I know you're a development driver for Cupra, so what are you going to try and achieve tomorrow? What are you looking for? What do you want to achieve so you're happy come Friday afternoon?
Definitely to close down the gap to the front runners. I think we were going to benefit a lot with the seasoned drivers testing before we do, because then we get to have live data, and we get to have onboards and really compare and see where we lack and see where our weaknesses are, and get down to it. We have 6 hours of running tomorrow, morning and afternoons. That's lots of laps where we can constantly improve session after session. So that's definitely the goal for me. I want to be as close as possible to the front runners.
Perfect. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank